And thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise to take note of the 2023-24 budget papers and the excellent outcomes this budget will have for my community and Victoria as a whole. Deputy Speaker, in May this year, we were presented with comprehensive details of the state budget. First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Treasurer, the Assistant Treasurer and their dedicated teams for their efforts in delivering this budget. It is a true Labor budget that continues deep investment into our community across health, education and transport, all the while creating quality jobs for Victorians. During the election campaign, the Andrews Labor government pledged $10.9 million for much-needed upgrades at Forest Hill College, and this budget delivers on that promise. Forest Hill College is one of the many outstanding public schools in my district, providing an excellent education to over 600 students. I've had the privilege of visiting the school on many occasions, and it was great to have the Minister for Education out to visit in October last year to tour the school, to see all the great work that is done by the teachers, the students and the parents at the school. The Minister must have enjoyed her visit so much that she returned to the school in November with a promise that a re-elected Andrews Labor government would deliver $10.9 million for a rebuild of blocks A, D and M. And I'm so happy that in this budget we've been able to deliver on this promise to my community. I commend the Minister and her team for their diligent work in enhancing education facilities across the state, including the schools in my district. It was great to get down to Forest Hill College during NAIDOC week, to see the work that the students and staff are doing around reconciliation and to see the important learnings taking place in the school on First Nations issues. My recent visit was also a great opportunity to discuss the upgrades with Principal David Rogers and Assistant Principal Nikki Buckingham. These conversations, including the plans that they have for what this $10.9 million investment will do in creating enriched learning spaces for the students. Earlier this year, it was great to sit down with the Forest Hill School Council to talk with parents, and I'd like to thank the School Council President Rob Nash and the rest of the council members for volunteering all their time and efforts to make the school a better place. Last November, my volunteer team and I embarked on door-knocking and letterboxing campaign to inform the residents within the Forest Hill College zone of our commitment to the school funding if the Andrews Labor government were to be re-elected. And the reception to this announcement was heartening. And it was rewarding to learn that many voters chose to support the Andrews Labor government for the sake of their children and grandchildren who will benefit from the improved schooling facilities. Education is paramount for the next generation of our community, and I welcome this budget commitment. I look forward to working alongside the Minister and the college community to deliver these essential upgrades. Deputy Speaker, the second election commitment for Glen Waverley was a grant of $50,000 to support the Waverley Woodworkers, a group that you know well, as you used to represent them as the member for Mount Waverley. It's a remarkable local organisation that provides a creative and safe environment for members of our community. Last month, I had the Minister for Disability, Ageing and Carers, Lizzie Blanthorne from The Other Place, join me in visiting the Waverley Woodworkers, which is located at Central Reserve in Glen Waverley. It was great to catch up with the President, Ray French, and John Watson, and all the other members who were there to discuss the needs for their space and the great impact this $50,000 grant will have on their organisation. This budget allocation will enable Waverley Woodworkers to acquire additional machinery and improve the infrastructure, further empowering their members and their creativity. On this visit, as well as last year's visit with you, Deputy Speaker, I've witnessed firsthand the significance of their work and the positive impact that they have on our community. Although the Waverley Woodworkers is a men's shed, their organisation is also open to women. And it was great to talk to the women who are members about how and why they got involved. The woodworkers also put their efforts to good use by building toys for children in need. I'm proud to be part of a government that supports community organisations such as the Waverley Woodworkers, and I'd like to thank the Minister and her office for the work that they've done to support this integral community organisation. Without grants such as these community organisations may struggle to operate, and it's great to see the Minister and her team making sure that we support our local community organisations. As I address the House, I'm proud to speak on another excellent budget allocation for my constituency. Under this budget, we are allocating $750,000 to the Vermont Reserve, and I think it's something that the member for Nepean can get behind. This funding will be used to build female-friendly facilities on site, including the change rooms. Currently, the change rooms and the bathroom facilities are not fit for purpose. They were built decades ago when there was little support for women's sport, especially in football and cricket, both of which are played at Vermont Reserve. And I'd also like to thank the Minister for Community Sport, who's at the table today, for all her advocacy on this project. And you have been out there. It was an excellent visit, wasn't it? This allocation is part of a large commitment by the Andrews Labor government has made in supporting and including women in sport. And I'm proud to be part of this government that values equality in community sport. On that note, I'd like to say a huge congratulations to both the under-16 and under-18 girls teams at the Vermont Eagles Junior Footy Club for recently winning their grand finals. These wins have made club history as the first ever girls premiers for the club. It's great to see such a high-performing women's team in our area, and it's just another reminder as to why we need to continue supporting women in sport. Furthermore, a part of this grant will go towards the purchasing and installation of LED lights for the ground. With numerous training sessions and matches held at Vermont Reserve, LED lighting will allow for more games and training sessions and keep up with the demand for community sport in our area. Vermont Reserve serves as the home for the Vermont Cricket Club, the Vermont Football Club, both of which are instrumental community sporting institutions. In the past year, I've engaged with discussions with the executive members of both clubs, along with the Whitehorse City Council, to explore potential upgrades for Vermont Reserve. In these meetings, I've emphasised the importance of providing change rooms and bathrooms for women's teams and players. And it was great to have the Minister for Community Sport out at Vermont Reserve last month to formally announce the $750,000 grant. It was also great to have executive members from both clubs attend, including Danny Ross, President of the Vermont Football Club, Rob Wilson, the Secretary of the Vermont Football Club, and Trent Toohey, the President of the Vermont Cricket Club, as well as Don Parsons from the Vermont Sports Club. It was a great opportunity to share the promising news with the executives. Both clubs are thrilled about this budget allocation with the positive impact it will have on their facilities and members. We're also joined by Whitehorse City Council CEO Simon McMillan and Deputy Mayor Prue Cutts to celebrate the occasion. I'm looking forward to collaborating with Whitehorse City Council as well as with the Vermont football and cricket clubs to deliver this project. It is great to witness the ongoing discussions about gender equality in sport. I'm fully committed to working with local sporting clubs to foster an inclusive environment. I extend my gratitude to the Minister for Community Sport and her team for their dedicated efforts in maintaining our local sports facilities and promoting sports participation irrespective of age and gender. I look forward to achieving successful outcomes for other community sports in my electorate. Deputy Speaker, our budget also places significant emphasis on healthcare, on the healthcare sector to ensure Victorians receive the quality healthcare services they both deserve and require. The Andrews Labor government has committed $320 million to the Hospital Infrastructure Delivery Fund, aimed at planning, developing and initiating early works for the Monash Medical Centre and Maroondah Hospital. These healthcare facilities play a pivotal role in catering to the health needs of countless Victorians, including those residing in my electorate. In addition, we are allocating funds to establish women's health clinics, recognising the importance of specialised healthcare for women, covering areas including from contraception to conditions such as endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome. Another crucial investment is the planning for a new mental health and wellbeing service in Glen Waverley. This service will extend support to individuals aged 26 and above, addressing mental health struggles, psychological distress and addiction. It will stand as a welcoming space for members of my community facing these challenges, following a similar model to the Orange Door program, albeit specifically dedicated to mental health. Qualified mental health professionals, including carers, will staff the service, ensuring accessibility to those in need without the requirement of referrals or eligibility criteria. I'm sure many of my constituents will be pleased to know that this service will be free of charge, eliminating barriers to access and contributing to destigmatising mental health. The Glen Waverley service will be one of 50 local mental health services established by the Andrews Labor government, reaffirming our unwavering commitment to mental health services and the wellbeing of our constituents. Considering the pressing need for advanced healthcare services, our budget allocates $46 million to train future paramedics, including specialised paramedic practitioners, which I'm sure the member for Melton is fully behind. This endeavour aims to provide essential assistance to Victorians even before they reach the hospital, potentially saving lives. To further enhance our healthcare services, we're investing $167 million to support our dedicated nurses and midwives. This initiative seeks to strengthen nurse-to-patient ratios, ensuring that all Victorians, including those in my constituency, receive the highest quality medical attention. I would like to thank the Minister for Health and her team for their tremendous efforts in bolstering our healthcare system and safeguarding the wellbeing of all Victorians. And this budget also delivers for our TAFE sector. Deputy Speaker, in Glen Waverley, we are lucky to have the Holmes Glen TAFE on Waverley Road. The Glen Waverley Holmes Glen campus provides courses in early childhood, floristry, landscaping, hospitality and many other areas, including many of our free TAFE courses funded by the Andrews Labor government. It was great to have the Premier as well as Minister Tinney from the other place join me in visiting Holmes Glen TAFE Glen Waverley earlier this year for a tour and to see all the great work that happens at the TAFE. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Minister for her tireless efforts to ensure that our TAFEs are properly funded and to make sure that Victorians are receiving a funded quality education for in-demand jobs. It was great to see that this budget is delivering $186 million to expand the eligibility of courses, including free TAFE. This means that more Victorians can get the skills they need for the careers they seek, which plays a vital role in supporting our economy, not just now but for the decades to come. These free TAFE courses are for in-demand sectors so that we can fill the gaps in the economy while providing Victorians with a quality education. Furthermore, we're investing $90 million in numeracy, literacy and digital support services for those at TAFE studying one of our free courses. This will assist students in their studies to teach them transferable skills that they can use in their careers in the future. We're also putting another $90 million into the TAFE sector to provide job placement opportunities, priority skills and to support the mental health and wellbeing of TAFE students. I'm proud to be part of a government that supports and values our TAFE sector. We know that education is vital to our economy and our communities, and it's why we're dedicating millions of dollars to our TAFEs in this year's budget. While I'm speaking on the importance of education, I'd like to highlight the allocations made in this budget to support kindergartens and early learning. This budget allocates money to ensure the continuation of our free kinder program for our 3- and 4-year-olds. It's something that I know well personally, as my daughter Orla have mentioned before, got to experience 3-year-old kinder last year as one of the first intakes of 3-year-old kinder, and this year is enjoying the 4-year-old program and free. So it's a wonderful program, and you can see the benefits on a daily basis when she comes home from kinder. We know that kindergarten gives our children the best start to life and prepares them with the skills that they need for primary school and beyond. Furthermore, our free kinder program is one of the many cost of living measures our government has put in place. Making kindergarten free ensures that there is no barrier for kids to attend kinder. No child should miss out on an education just because of cost, and that's why we're making sure we continue our free kinder program. Since being elected to this parliament late last year, I've been able to visit many of the excellent kinders and early learning centres across my district. We've got so many excellent kinders and early learning centres, such as Sindel Preschool, Tallyho Preschool, Waverley Kids Children's Centre, Barraburn Preschool. And I've been able to talk to the wonderful staff about how their kinders are doing, and I've heard great feedback from the teaching staff on the importance of the free kinder program. And I'm sure they're glad to hear that this funding is continuing under this budget. Earlier this year, I also had the great opportunity to visit Bamboo Early Learning Centre on Blackburn Road in Glen Waverley with Minister Stitt from the other place. The Minister and her team have done a great job in ensuring that our free kinder program has been rolled out smoothly and making sure that early childhood learning is a priority not only in this budget but for the government as a whole. Deputy Speaker, one of the significant election commitments was to reinstate the SEC, and we haven't hesitated in fulfilling that pledge. The budget allocates $1 billion to revive the SEC, delivering government-owned renewable energy. To facilitate this revival, $12 million has been allocated to establish the SEC Centre for Training and Excellence, aiming to train the next generation or the new generation of SEC workers and generate thousands of jobs for Victorians. The funding will also facilitate the establishment of the clean energy courses, ensuring a smooth transition to sustainable and secure job opportunities. Additionally, the centre will actively participate in career nights at government schools, inspiring the next generation to pursue a career in renewable energy. Furthermore, we're investing $16 million to create two new worker training centres dedicated to renewable energy. These investments represent a firm commitment to renewable energy jobs creation and skills for the development to benefit all Victorians. And I'm running out of time, so I commend this budget and look forward to working alongside my colleagues to ensure its successful implementation. My constituents and I are looking forward to seeing the results of this budget.
The member for Euroa.